Welcome back to University Bedford, your one-stop shop for everything Universal Studios, coming to the UK. Here we do construction updates, deep dives into planning documents, and of course, University Bedford live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Today, we've got another great construction update. We've sent the drone up in the air and we've seen what's going on. We've also got some overlays from the planning documents, so we've got an idea of exactly what is going where. We're focusing a lot today on the infrastructure, the public roads that's going to be feeding traffic into the site. So let's kick it off and get that drone up in the air. So here we are. We are in the field, the famous field that is. So here we are. And we're just about to take off. Now, this is on the public footpath. So currently this is all free to walk on. And we discovered in one of our recent document deep dives that that public footpath will be closed permanently if these plans go ahead. You can see in the top left, just up here, that we have got a little bit of an outline here of the site as well. So right now we're down here. We're down in that bottom side and we're looking out over what will be the core zone. We're flying over what on the left hand side there, just this side of the railway tracks, will be the core transportation hub, and we're moving across over City Walk into the theme park site. In the distance there you can see the concrete pad. Now that will be for utilities going forward, so your electric, your gas, your water, all of those facilities, as well as obviously maintenance and those things, that's going to be on the concrete pad just to the top right of the image. We also know from the planning documents that Universal plan to generate some of their own electricity, which is of course very sensible. Electricity bills seem to be going up and up and up. I know it's the summer, so it's a bit cheaper, but I don't know about you, I'm dreading the winter. Now, we are panning across here to the A421. Now, on the page right now, if you have a look, what we've got here is a outline of the site in red, and these dotted grey lines indicate where they propose to build new roads. So we have one coming over here through the lake zone, round the edge, and joining up with Manor Road here, and then continuing from Manor Road, this side, the core zone side of the railway, all the way along, bordering the theme park here, all the way down to about here. And this is where we're going to see it join the slip road. All right, so we're about to look at the slip road. So this looks here, we've got the A421 coming up here, and you can see we've got east and west joining. Now, there is a little bit of discussion as to whether both directions will be joining with the dual carriageway or whether some will be joining with the old A421, which it's a single carriageway road that runs in parallel. We'll find that out in forthcoming document deep dives. So if you're not subscribed already, now's your opportunity. Now, if you see these asterisks around the site, what we can see here is green denotes a kind of restricted access point. So that's going to be really for construction. Red asterisks denote where the new roads will be connecting with existing roads. And the orange asterisks denote where the new roads, the proposed roads, will access the site. Okay? We also do have a little bit of hatching here, right in the middle. That's because the East-West Rail proposal for the level crossing has not yet been finalised. So that's kind of like a bit of a grey area. There's a placeholder there. But what we're expecting to see there is a bridge. All right. Now, you can also see a slight rerouting of Manor Road in this plan, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But you can see in these yellow shaded area, those are actually the areas of deviation for the roads, so they may not deviate and they might not move Manor Road at all from where it is at the moment. They've given themselves a bit of wiggle room. All right, let's continue with the tour. Okay, so we're getting up here towards where the A421 slip road will be. So let's just kind of pause for a moment here. Once we get to a good spot, get a little bit of elevation here, so we've got a good bird's eye view of where that slip road is going to be. So now I've blown this up and I've kind of added a bit of transparency. Now you're going to have to forgive the perspective. It's a little bit off because this road here is actually this road here. Okay. But the A421 up here is aligned. So what this tells us is we're going to see the slip road come down probably around here and round here. Now we have seen those mysterious blue pipes popping up all over the A421 slip road site, the Western Gateway Zone, which is this. And you can actually see here, this is where one of those green asterisks, this green asterisk here is actually right here. This bit over there is where that green asterisk is. That's site access for construction, and you can see there's a sort of a well-being hut container just up there as well. So what we have here is a pretty clear indication as to how that A421 slip road is going to look. Okay, it's going to come round through this field. It's going to loop from left to right and back into the center. If you're coming from the west, if you're coming from the east, it's going to go from right to left and then back into the center. And then it's going to join at this asterisk here, which is likely to be some kind of roundabout, because we're British. We love a roundabout. And I know that might flummox some of our American viewers and visitors, but you know what? Roundabouts, they are a wonder. Okay, now let's kind of pan around a little bit here. So here we're moving and panning just back towards where the railway is. And if I just pause here, up here is where we're going to likely see the crossing from the slip road into the core zone, and it's going to be along this stretch here that we're going to see the core transport hub. All right, let's keep going, because we did see very recently a bit of activity over here. We saw some like a kind of a drilling rig, it looked like. That was in our previous construction update, so if you've not seen that, check that out. If we look down here, we can see one of those blue pipes just down there, fading down onto the bottom there. And it was just around here that we had that drilling rig set up. Okay. We don't know exactly what was going on there. We weren't actually on the site, but it was likely more of the same. And I would imagine that that actually marks the spot where that crossing is going to go over the railway. All right, we're panning over here in the near ground. We have what will be the core transport hub, and then off into the distance we have the core zone and the theme park. Right, now can you see this, these trees over here? Now this is Manor Road. That's the road that cuts the site in half, and then these lakes, strangely enough, they form part of the lake zone, which runs really round here, kind of along there, kind of cutting that bit of water there, following the road, and it's all of this area. So it's not a small amount of area. It's not just this bit, it's all the way up here as well. So there's enormous opportunity for future expansion. All right, now we're having a quick look at the concrete pad. So here we have that very famous old building, which that was on all of the news broadcasts. And this is where we're going to see a lot of the utilities being based for the news site. And, you know, we've got an excavator there. That looks like the drilling rig just down there that was over there on the A41 slip road site. And here we have Kempston Hardwick Station. All right. Now, Kempston Hardwick Station is one of the fewest visited stations in the UK. if East West Rail make a proposal, it's highly possible that that station could cease to exist and be relocated to that Western Gateway hub. And Universal have actually earmarked some land for it. If you want to know a lot more about that, we did a deep dive on that proposal and the documents within the Universal proposal on the channel. So if you've not checked it out, now is your chance. Go and have a look at that. Now, going back over the core zone, and you can see there the village of Stewartby in the distance, and Kimberley College, actually, just over here. This is where Keir Starmer met with Universal executives to announce the project was proceeding to a planning application. So we really do have quite a lot going on. I know there's not actually going on, not a lot going on as we're flying, because this was filmed on a weekend where not very many people are working. And in fact, we do know that when construction does kick off, Sundays, nothing is going to be going on. There will be stuff happening between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. till about 1 p.m. on Saturdays. And you can see actually here on the left of the screen, you see this? That's the old landfill, but there are loads of trees planted on there. So that's actually going to look really beautiful. Give it 5 to 10 years. That's going to look probably not too dissimilar to this here. So just flying back up here again, this is another view of the A421 slip road area. So if I just pause it, there you'll be able to see that from the west you'll come along here, you'd scoot around here, and then you'd probably join a roundabout around here. From the east you come along here, you come down here, and you'd join there. Now we are going to find out a lot more about the slip road and potentially about some of the services that will be provided on those public roads. Maybe petrol, maybe some shops, we don't know, but we'll find out a lot more about that in the planning documents. So again, if you've not subscribed yet, now is the time to do so. We do a lot of deep dives here on the channel, so really if you want to know everything there is to know about Universal Studios, come into Bedford. This is the place to be. I hope you've enjoyed that little flyover of the site. It's been a pleasure to share it with you. We do updates almost every single day when there's something going on the site, whether there's a deep dive to do on documentation. And of course, Thursday, 7 p.m, our lives. You're not going to want to miss them. So anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again very, very soon.